see the son and the daughter got exactly the same amount in 1662. Hi everyone. I have with me two special friends today from Korea. They're visiting here in Provo, and they're both from Kyunghee University. And we have first Sanyang
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Sanyang.
and Yu-chan.
Hi, nice to meet you too. I'm Yu-chan.
Today we're going to talk about a frog out of the well view of Korean history, and we're going to look at some of my research. I wrote a book about this called Korean Adoption and Inheritance, and I had it translated into Korean called 유교 사회의 창출, the emergence of Confucian society. And that's one of my interests. A Confucian society in Korea, I think, is two different things. I think early on there was a more relaxed Confucian society, and then later it became more strict and more, the word we use is orthodox. So I like to look at the changes, and one of the big changes we see in Korean society is, let me show you a document I have. This is a long scroll, and here's the first part, and here it has the date, 1632. So it's very old, but it's latter half of the Joseon dynasty, right? Joseon dynasty is 500 years, 1392 to 1910. Here's what it shows. In the first part, it shows details about the family and the inheritance. And here it says, one slave is assigned to take care of the grave. And then here it says, there are 3 or 4 slaves and some land for ceremonies. And then the rest of the property is divided between the number 1 son, and then here's number 2 is a daughter. Number 3 is a son. Number 4 is another
daughter.
Yeah. And then here's the daughter. Now the thing about each of these sizes, you can see from the size that the 막내 딸 and the 장남 아들 both got the same size of property.
Oh, got it.
And if you add them up, each one got 17 slaves. So this is a puja, 잘 사는 집이에요. And 17 slaves. Now you might think that the 장남 would get all the good slaves, and the 맏아들 would get all the weak slaves. But no, the slaves were all mixed. 남녀, 노소, 장유. The oldest son got some old, some young, some male, some female, and the youngest one got some old, some young, some male. So it was really careful about how exact the division was. And half of this is about slaves, and the other half is about land. And the land is 2 kinds of land. There's paddy, rice paddy, non, and pot, the dry fields, the vegetable fields. And those 2 were divided up absolutely equally. In fact, the property was all over the country in various places. And they just didn't give the eldest son this piece of property and the baby daughter this piece of property. They divided bigger pieces of property up. So a son and a daughter would share a piece of property. It was very 복잡해. It divided property up into little tiny pieces. And then finally, here at the last part of the document, it has all 4. Here's the son, daughter, and here's the position they had. They were all yangban with some kind of position. And they all signed the document. This first one, this is a color photograph. This is a tojang, but it's not a red tojang. Usually you think of tojang as
Red.
빨간 꿀, right? But here it's black tojang. This means a widow. So her husband was dead, so she used her stamp.
Oh.
Yeah. And we see this in old documents. We see a stamp for a widow.
그럼 그때도 도장이
있었죠. Yeah. 근데 재미있는 게 대부분 사람은 사인해요. 또 사인 아주 멋있게 위조를 못해요. 내 마음대로 사인하는 거 항상 똑같아요. 지금도 우리 사인하잖아요. 크레딧 카드 할 때나. 근데 제가 처음 한국 때 도장이 있어야 된다고.
네.
우체국이나 은행이나 도장.
네. 처음에.
그 도장 그거 일제 시대부터.
아 그래요?
Yeah, that's a Japanese custom. Originally, Koreans signed for documents,
아.
and only the widow would use a tojang. So that's a new fact too, right? You didn't know that. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. Then here's this long document, and four siblings. The eldest son here, and the number 2 is a daughter here, and number 3 is a son here, and number 4 is a daughter here. And you see the sizes of property were all exactly the same. That's because in the Gyeongguk Daejang, it says 남녀 평등 상속법. So it's absolutely correct. Now the thing about these documents is I've got another one in this set. I got a whole set of these. The next thing is the next son generation. Here in the next generation, this is 1662, 30 years after the first one. And now the first one, they're all dead. And the eldest son has a son and a daughter. And they divide their property here. Here's the eldest son, and here's how much property he got, you see. And then here's the daughter, and here's how much property she got. Here on this you can see the son and the daughter got exactly the same amount in 1662. So that's my message. Are you convinced?
Yeah.
설득됐어요? What do you think? Does it make you feel sorry for Korean women?
As Korean woman, I feel some not that good things for hearing,
Yeah,
cause it's not good news for us.
yeah,
Cause many women have to suffer many things because of this system.
yeah. But in the early days, it was not that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, in a lot of ways, Korean women today look to the West as examples of
For equality.
equality of women.
Yeah.
But I think Korean women only have to look back in your own history for examples of equality. So I think this is good news. It makes you feel sad for the last 300 years,
Yeah.
but you should feel good for the 1,000 years before that. I think we're out of time. We'll see you.
I'm not.
Thank you.
Subscribe.
Bye.